So let me ask you this. Does this give credence to a very controversial piece of work that I read several years ago? And it hasn't really hit the mainstream media because it kind of echoed what you just said by Michelle Alexander. I'm sure you're familiar with a book she released on the new Jim Crow. And in the book,
Yes.
it talked about exactly what you said, that the whole system is designed to enslave, and that's the word she used in that, to create a caste system, that because slavery had been outlawed, and she goes into it, and I can understand why this book never hit mainstream, because she lays right into it on a level where anybody reading it, like your book, can understand it. And she goes into the point that says that this system was created because slavery was outlawed, but this country still needed people to produce and to manufacture. And those of you who are listening, who understand that so much is made in prison. So much of what we see is made in prison. And she says that this new Jim Crow, and that's why it's called the new Jim Crow. Why don't you elaborate? Because I think before we go any further, there's more to dig into when you talk about a system, not people, the way a system has been designed.
Yeah, well, I can say a few things about that. I'll start with saying, and for those of you that are listening, I would love to get a visual in the background so you know I'm not just making this up, but I was speaking at the New York Theological Seminary maybe about 2 years ago, and Michelle Alexander was actually in the audience in the front row. And I
Okay.
spoke with her a bit about her book, and she has a great amount of wisdom. Imagine the level of wisdom and insight that she shared with the world, and she never stepped foot in the system. So imagine someone who was trained in the law like I've been and then went through the experience. Imagine what I have to release to the world. So
Right.
come back swinging is just the beginning. I've come into a whole level of understandings that I believe is going to shake the foundations of what we understand as law. So, I mean, she just scratched the surface because still she's speaking from not experience. She's still speaking from a position of academia and theory